Hey guys, you're watching the one and only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Mini City. I forgot about a road here. I think I remember saying that I couldn't fit the road in, but I must have been looking at the actual full-size city wrong because I can fit it in. This is the police station here with a gap below it, which we've got in the main city. There's a gap up here at the moment with the Pigs restaurant down here, and then there's a gap here with the KFC right here, and that's what we're going to be building today. Let's just choose a block for it quickly. Our pickings are getting slimmer and slimmer. I don't want to use stone blocks because I might end up using those for actual terrain and things like that. I could just change other blocks, but I don't want to worry about that. We'll go with pink hardened clay. There we go. Pink hardened clay. Boom. There's our KFC building. Just not textured. Obviously, we're going to have some problems like normal with this for multiple reasons. Reason number one that we're going to have a problem is that the KFC, if it was in the real city, wouldn't be equivalent to a full block. It would be equivalent to about a half slab. So we're going to have to do our normal thing of somewhat wasting space in order to try and fill up the entire block. And we're going to have to change the design slightly from our real KFC in our main city because of the way that blocks get textured. I'll talk about that more when we jump into Photoshop itself. Let's grab a aircon unit top. There we go. To go on top of this. That's obviously going to be the KFC top. It's a nice universal one that we can use. I don't think there's anything else that I need to talk about in the world. I think we're going to just go for it and jump into Photoshop. I'll be back. Alright, I like it when things go so smoothly at the start of an episode. We haven't had any problems so far. This is the pink stained clay, obviously, that we've got loaded up inside of Photoshop. And here we have the KFC. Now, this is in the overviewer version, obviously, of the world. And there's this red thing, the red pillar that we've got that has the KFC logo on it. The paintings don't show up in overview, which is why it looks plain and blank. This is our main problem for two reasons. Reason number one is it's taller than the rest of the building. It's like a tower, isn't it? And we can't do that with the single block. So that's one reason to get rid of it. The other reason to get rid of it is if we ended up putting this on the side of the block. I've got pink at the minute. Let's say that this was the pillar, that red pillar on the side of the building, okay? This would end up being on the front, which is where we want it, the side, the back, and the other side, or the right side. And the trouble with that is this side wouldn't be red. You would have to have this side red as well, so when it got to the corner they would both join up and make this sort of red corner section. But we don't want red on that side because that then ruins all of the sides. So by getting rid of the red pillar entirely and just not that one, by getting rid of the red pillar entirely and just using the KFC section, I think we could make something look a little bit better. I think we can make it look a little bit more interesting. So, if we can incorporate in this wooden section with the KFC writing on it, that would be much better. What's the main colour for the block building? Black. Okay, we'll start off with black. I'm not going to do perfectly black. I'm going to do like just off black, so it's like a dark grey. I don't like blocks being like solid dark colours or solid white colours. I like it to be a little bit off in either direction. So there's our black. I think it matches the wool relatively well. We want the wooden texture, which is like a just off browny, nearly orange texture, something about this. And this is going to go right up to the top. And if we done it spanning either half or nearly half of the building, and we done it from there to there, let's say, it would be on this side of the front, the right-hand side of the side, the right-hand side of the back, and the right-hand side of the left-hand side of the building. That's confusing. If you don't understand, I shall show you once we finish it and get into Minecraft what I meant. But doing it this way, I don't think the sign is going to look as bad. We're going to make this white or just off-white and write KFC in if we can. Just so it makes a little bit more sense to people. C, F, and then K. We're doing them 4 blocks in width, these letters. I think that sort of works, doesn't it? KFC written like that. We'll swap that back around again. This has given us 2 blocks of somewhat brown around the sides. Or apart from there, if I move all of that over by 1. There we go. Now we've got 2 blocks of this wooden texture around all the sides of the letters. Just makes it even, makes it look pretty neat. Fill all of this center part in. Again, we'll go with some darker and some lighter wooden parts to give it a little bit of texture. But that works really well there. It looks a little bit thin, but we'll dress that up. We'll address that now, I think. So we'll have some darker sections. I think I can get away with doing it up the side as well, because we're not going to, it's not wrapping around the building. And then we'll have some lighter ones across the top here. Maybe even getting some darker ones to go underneath the letters and stuff, so it looks a little bit more embossed, I'm thinking. Something like that. And like that. It looks like the letters are just a little bit prouder then. We could go there as well. Yeah. Okay, so now the KFC is sort of somewhat popping out at us. The next section is the white section on the top here. We've got this sort of white part with a light grey underneath it that end up being at the same height as the bottom of the KFC sign. And we're about at the right height, I think, for the rest of the building too. So we'll get this just off-white colour and colour this in to, I think, here, and all of this will just be white, like so. Then we want to get a slightly grey, just to put a little bit of shading on it, like that. We want to have a darker grey to sit below it, and I'm going to do this so it goes just underneath the sign, so it looks a little bit, maybe not that deep, so it has a little bit of a shadow underneath. Like so. I can go there as well if we wanted to. No, I think I'm going to leave it like that. And then below that is where our windows and etc. start. So we have the door in the middle. Obviously, there's going to be a door on all 4 sides if we do this, but we don't really have too much of a choice. Large window on the right, large window on the left, door in the middle. Pretty much is what it's going to be. So, because we're using black already as the building color, we're going to have to use blue as our window color, otherwise they're going to blend in, aren't they? So we shall have the windows. I'm trying to make them, force them as big as I possibly can. So we have a big window on the right hand side, a big window on the left hand side. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Might as well make them symmetrical. And then the door in the middle. Now, the door's going to be a little bit tricky. I think I'm going to have to do it blue as well. And we'll do it that size. Okay, we'll get some white. White, very, very, very white to do the shine on the windows here. So we get a little bit of a reflection going. And on the door. And then I want to have a just off-white. Oops, I don't like that. I like that one. A just off-white to go around the door. And then get some darker sections on like there and there. Makes the door just stand out a little bit more. Same as around the windows here. Oh, I can't do it up the side. No, I can't do it up the side. So I have a darker one below and the lighter one on top. Again, these lines are just trying to fill the gap between the sign now and the windows. We've got this giant black area which we can't that easily fill. Look, it's going to be really, really tough now to fill up that gap. How can we do it? I could lift the windows up by 1 block. And that would get us 1 pixel closer. And then fill those back in. Yeah, that works. It doesn't look too high. I could drop this grey down like I did have, but I decided against it. Drop this down by 1 as well. To go down here. And then what? Do I do some smaller windows above here to try and fill up that space? These windows don't exist in the actual KFC, but I think we have to do something like this in this world, in this version of it, to make it work, to make it all fit. Plus, my local McDonald's near me has 2 windows high. And the windows that are higher up, you can't actually see out of. They're just there to let light through. And there's blinds that you can move. I'm sure you've seen them in your McDonald's. There's like wooden slats you can move by hand to get the sun out of your eyes. So that sort of works. I can't get a kernel in. I don't think I'm good enough to even draw a pixel art kernel up in the corner. What does the kernel look like? What is it? I'll do it up here. KFC kernel. Images. That's the logo. Can I do that? I could do black, click, okay. Something like this is his hairline. No, this isn't going to work, is it? No, that's not going to work. It's not, but we haven't got enough space. The pixel art for the kernel would be actually pretty huge. All right, so we'll close that. I shall save it. Let's just see what it looks like in Minecraft. We'll get some darker black to go down the bottom here and over the top. Yep. And let's just see what it looks like. Maybe it won't be the greatest. Maybe it'll look okay. Maybe it will look actually really good. I think the KFC lettering will look good. I'll jump in and have a look. Come on. Boom. Okay, actually looks okay. Doesn't look too bad at all. You know, we had to fill up all of that space that would have otherwise been blank, and I think we've done it in a way that looks okay. You can definitely tell it's a KFC. I would like to have had some red on it because obviously red is the KFC color. But as you can tell, if we had the red section here, it just wouldn't make sense on the other sides of the block. It just wouldn't work. There would be no way for it to work. What if we made the grey section red? So this grey strip, if we made that red, I'll try that. I'll be back. Okay, so I've got it red now. Do I prefer it red or did I prefer it being grey? It's a tough one because, like I said, KFC has red colour to it. It's like their colour. You know, McDonald's has yellow as their logo colour, you know. KFC has red as their logo colour. So it sort of works in that term. But I think as far as the building is concerned, I think I preferred it being grey. I'm going to leave this decision up to you in the comment section. Do you prefer it red, like this? Or do you prefer it grey to how it was? If you want to have a comparison, just go back in the video a couple of seconds and you'll be able to see it in its grey format. I don't know, maybe even making the strip grey again and the sign red could work. But then it gets rid of the wooden look, and I really liked how it looked when it was this sort of wooden coloured look. It looks good for me from back here. I think the building works. I think it works okay. Now, the KFC does have a car park, obviously. The car park's out the front on the real KFC, but we just don't have the room here in the mini city. This block is actually, or this area is blank in the main city. And it's not actually big enough to fit a building in, so I don't know what we're going to do with that. I've always said that we're going to put a park in there, but I think on the mini city we're going to put the car park in there instead for the KFC. And it sort of looks like it's almost facing this way now, doesn't it? I can't fit the trees behind it. I can't fit the drive-through either in it. Those are the kind of things that just we cannot do in this mini city. But it's another building done. It's another one out of the way. And I'm actually really pleased on how this is coming on so far. I want to start on the island relatively soon too, with the lighthouse and the mansion and the farms and the barn and stuff like that. But it's so less important than the main city, and we're starting to run out of block options. It's starting to get to that point. Also, at some point, I will be adding world edit to this world. Not to change the world in any way. Obviously, when we're working with singular blocks, we don't need to do giant world edits of terrain. But what I want to do is I want to raise the whole thing up a few blocks and put this onto a table. So it looks like a kid's bedroom, and it's like a model kit that he's building in his bedroom on his bedroom table. And maybe even build a room around it, like with some walls and a big window and a big door. I think that could be really cool. I think our render distance is far enough to be able to do that as well. I hate it when it goes out of render distance or when it fogs out, but we've got a render distance set at... Oops, not that one. We've got a render distance set at 32 chunks. So I think we can get a small room in here and keep it within the render distance with the wall and a painting on the wall or something like that. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode.